Boozhoo. My name's Nancy Cooper. I am from the Chippewas of Rama First Nation, and I'm one of the First Nation consultants at the Ontario Library Service. All of us at the Ontario Library Service are very grateful for the generous support of Indigenous literature provided by the Periodical Marketers of Canada. It is the National Association of Magazine and Book Wholesalers who have created and sponsored the annual PMC Indigenous Literature Awards, which have become a much sought after and important form of recognition for Indigenous authors and publishers across Canada. A jury of librarians from First Nations public libraries in Ontario, of which there are 38 libraries, supported by the Ontario Library Service, selected the winning submissions from Indigenous titles submitted by Canadian publishers. We had 88 titles nominated this year, which is cause for celebration itself. We are delighted to have Carm Alfano of Accelerate 360 with us today, representing the PMC. He's here to recognize and introduce the winners of these prestigious awards for 2025-2026. Over to you, Carm.
Thank you. Hello to our online viewers. I'm pleased to represent the Periodical Marketers of Canada in introducing this year's winners of the PMC Indigenous Literature Awards. I'm proud to say that this represents the 12th year that my organization has had the privilege of sponsoring this award, which recognizes the creators of outstanding Indigenous literature. The program includes awards in two categories: children's and young adult, and the response from Indigenous authors across the country has been outstanding once again this year. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce the winners of the 2025-2026 PMC Indigenous Literature Awards and the cash awards that go with them. The winner of the children's category is Mangeshig Pawis-Steckley. Mangeshig is a multidisciplinary Anishinaabe artist from Barrie, Ontario, and a member of Wasauksing First Nation. He lives in Vancouver with his wife and his child. He is an award-winning children's book illustrator and author who explores themes of language revitalization, ancestral knowledge sharing, and memory. He's being recognized for his book, Boozhoo, Hello. Illustrated in a vibrant and colorful woodland style, the book introduces children to familiar animals as they go about their daily activities, walking, running, swimming, and climbing, and finally, when the day is done, sleeping. He is online with us today, and I invite him to tell us more about his book, Boozhoo, Hello. Mangeshig.
Thanks, Carm. Yeah, my name is Mangeshig. I'm the author, illustrator of this book, Boozhoo, Hello. I would just like to say a huge thank you to everyone here, and basically also my family, everyone at Groundwood Books, who made this project come to life. It really, started just as a few illustrations for my daughter, and it's really, blossomed into something really special. And yeah, there were so many people who helped make it a reality, and I'm just so grateful that it could be just such a huge part of the language revitalization for just not even just Anishinaabe people, but for all Indigenous people. And I'm just very, very grateful that this book has had just such a huge it's just really an honor to be recognized like this. So thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, a little bit about this book, Boozhoo, Hello. Like I was saying, I wrote it I drew the illustrations when my daughter was born. And then sort of colored them in as she got older. And then I decided to yeah, maybe try a language book. Or try to make a language book, and I sort of wrote the text afterwards and sort of submitted it to Groundwood to see if they would accept the project, and thankfully they did, and it all worked out. I would also, yeah, just like to say thank you to Marianne Corbier for doing the translations. This project couldn't have happened without her. And yeah, I'd just like to say a word as well for my nan, who's a big inspiration. Audrey Pawis. She passed away earlier, just over a year ago, just before this book came out, unfortunately. But she is one of the dedicated people in the book, the back, and yeah, one of my biggest inspirations in life. So yeah, thanks so much. It's a huge honor.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And once again, congratulations.
Yeah.
And now turning to the young adult/adult category. And our winner this year is Stella Shepard. Stella is a journalist and a lifelong learner and photographer. She's committed to sharing stories that connect her Indigenous and African roots. A mother and a grandmother, she specializes in telling stories that have otherwise gone untold. Reflecting her Indigenous history and culture, Stella is being recognized for The Baby Train, the compelling story of Apple, an unwed mother from Prince Edward Island who was thrust into the foster care system at an early age. Tragically, Apple's baby is given to a rich American by unforgiving social workers and government officials. The book traces her life in the aftermath of the loss while following her baby's unknowing path. Congratulations to Stella, who is with us online today. Stella, if you could please share the background of this dramatic novel.
First of all, I'd like to acknowledge that I'm speaking on the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. And the Mi'kmaq people have occupied this land for thousands of years, long before the birth of Confederation. So I just want to say it's really an incredible honor. And when I learned that the Baby Train had been shortlisted, I was actually stunned. And then when I learned that it had been selected, I thought it was unbelievable. I wrote The Baby Train as a follow-up to Ashes of My Dreams, and it's to expose the unethical adoption practices that robbed unwed mothers of their babies through the Catholic Church with the support of government and high-profile community members. While Prince Edward Island is celebrated for Anne of Green Gables and lobster feasts and sweeping potato fields, there's a darker truth buried beneath its charm. It's a hidden history that borders on the crime of human trafficking. And so I wrote this book to bring that truth to life and to honor my own journey. And I'm grateful to Terry Lee Bolcher, the publisher of Acorn Press, for supporting my novels and for standing with me in truth telling. And also, I just want to mention a gratitude support to my niece, Julianne, who lives in Toronto and works with Indigenous communities, and to my chosen family, the Native Council of PEI, who are online with us today. So this is why I wrote the book, to expose the unethical adoption practices that robbed unwed moms. And I almost lost my own baby in the delivery room because of Birth Alert, which is a system that targeted vulnerable women, including especially unwed moms and Indigenous women.
Thank you so much, Stella. One of the things that the jury mentioned about the book is its universal story, that it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, if you're poor, or if, like you said, Indigenous, that very same thing could happen. And they felt like it was such a universal story that it had to be the selected title. So thank you.
Thank you. It's just amazing. It's such an honor. It's truly an honor. I live in the back roads of a rural community in Prince Edward Island, bordered by uh, dirt roads, clay roads, and very slow traffic. So for somebody like myself to win such a prestigious award from writing on a place where you wouldn't be able to find it on the map outside of Prince Edward Island is just truly truly amazing. And not only that, it's also, I'm also grateful that the story of what happened, what of the story of what happened and on Prince Edward Island is being told and being circulated. The truth, that's really important to me, as well as that this story um, um, this story will go out to a larger audience and expose the what expose the atrocities of what was happening on Prince Edward Island. That's very important to me as well.
One of the really amazing things about this project is that each of the First Nation public libraries in Ontario will get a book set of 5 copies of each of the selected titles. So that is 5 copies in 38 libraries where people will be able to access this amazing literature, both in the children's and the young adult categories.
Finally, from my perspective, on behalf of my colleagues at PMC, I'd like to express my sincere thanks to Nancy Cooper and our partners at the Ontario Library Service, members of the judging panel, and the First Nation Library Week organizers for allowing us to participate in today's program. And now back to Nancy for final comments.
Thanks, Carm. I wanted to just end by giving a most sincere thank you to the Periodical Marketers of Canada, and especially my dear friend Barry Francis. The folks at the Periodical Marketers of Canada provide a $5,000 check for each of the selected title authors. And I have watched over the years as they have really embodied true reconciliation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people in Canada. And it really, really warms my heart to be able to work with Barry and the other folks at the Periodical Marketers, along with Argyle and Associates, the PR company that provides their work free of charge to get the word out about this award and the authors. So a great big thank you to everyone for the support and the love of Indigenous literature. Chi miigwech. Have a wonderful day.